All right, we're going to continue with our post-race press conference. We've now been joined by our race winner of the Coca-Cola 600, which is Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12 Body Armor Cherry Limeade Ford for Team Penske. Ryan, congratulations on that win, winning the Coca-Cola 600, but also giving Roger Penske a Coca-Cola 600 win along with his Indy 500 win yesterday. Tell us a little bit about today. We had to wait a little bit to actually get this race going, but tell us a little bit about today and just really what it means to bring home that Coca-Cola 600 victory for your team.
Yeah, obviously a big weekend, for Team Penske, and watching the Indy 500 yesterday, how that played out, and watching Joseph win his first one, and watching Mr. Penske win number 19, that's, really cool to see. And, especially when that stuff happens, you're like, well, all right, the pressure's on for us to try to sweep, the weekend, especially in two really big races. So that was the goal. And fortunately, we executed well enough to get it done. And I'm really looking forward to talking to Roger here after I get done back to the bus, because, I haven't congratulated him enough, and I'm looking forward to hearing his voice. So big weekend, and obviously winning the 600 is massive. I grew up coming here watching my dad race for a long time as a kid, and it was just what we did, every summer, and really cool. And it was cool for my parents to be here as well. So that was a special moment and fun night, that's for sure. It's Monday races seem to go really well for me. I don't know what it is, but definitely a fun night.
All right, we're now going to continue for questions. If you have a question, there are several. We will work to get a microphone to you. We'll start with Jordan. We'll go to Lee.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. 59 races since your last points win. Does that feel like an eternity at times?
Can. Yeah, definitely. I try not to think about that very much. We try to win every week, and it's hard to do. It's hard to win these races, and sometimes you just get in these streaks of things just aren't going right, and then you feel like you're doing everything right, and maybe your cars aren't fast enough to win races, or you're making too many mistakes. It can definitely be frustrating, and it's easy to get down on yourself when you don't win. And you got to think to yourself, can I still do it? Can I still compete at a winning level? And so it's easy to kind of doubt yourself. But at the end of the day, we all pulled together, and everyone in the 12 group did a good job of working on things, that we could get better. And but yeah, it does feel like an eternity. But I told Jonathan and all those guys, I said, what a cool first one to get together. I mean, winning the 600, that is a super cool one to win, and looking forward to seeing those guys later on.
When you have those moments of self-doubt, what do you do to kind of pull yourself out of it?
Yeah, I mean, everyone deals with them a little differently, and I'm not the most self-confident person out there to begin with. And so when I do get in doubt of your abilities to do something, it's really hard to pull yourself out of it, at least for me personally, just because I just don't have that self-confidence that some guys have, and it takes me a little bit more convincing. So I don't know. I don't really have anything for it. I just always, try to look forward to the next week and just try to reassure yourself, like, you're here for a reason. If you try to work on these things and try to perfect what you do, that's all you can do. And that's kind of how I've approached it. But it's easy to get down, that's for sure. And it's how you kind of dig yourself out of that stuff, and kind of makes you. But yeah, the moments aren't good, but it's nice to be back, and hopefully we can make it more of a common thing.
5 laps to go, you're pulling away, you've got the lead. Are you thinking what's going to go wrong next? How are we going to lose this race that we should win?
Yeah, I figured there was going to be a yellow, and we had to survive another restart. And I wanted green flag runs. I thought our car was really good on green flag runs. And, kind of at the end of that thing, the 45 and I were probably the best two cars. I don't know what happened to him at the very end, but he and I, the 19 was really good at the end of the third stage too. But I thought he was my biggest competition. I raced around William a lot. But yeah, with 5 to go, I was like, there's going to be yellow, and I'm going to have to fend off another restart. You never know what can happen, but fortunately it went green.
All right, Lee.
Lee Spencer, catchfence.com. Reddick hit the wall. That's kind of what happened. When's the last time you had a car that was that hooked up?
Yeah, I mean, it's we did a great job tonight. I mean, from the drop of the green flag, we were really fast, and we also did a great job of adjusting to the racetrack as it got darker, as the track temp cooled off. We did a good job of adjusting. I wasn't very good in the third stage where we won it. You know, the 19 to the 45 were all over me, and we did a good job of kind of getting over the hurdle of, okay, we need to be, you know, way tightened up to be, you know, competitive again, and we did that. So, yeah, I mean, this year, I feel like our mile-and-a-half programs, we haven't been that competitive, and I think it's kind of well known, but we did a good job tonight of bringing a really fast car and keeping it up front and adjusting on it. So,
Have you worked at all on your restarts?
my restarts, can only work on them on the race weekend, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you try to perfect all that stuff and try to not make mistakes, but yeah, I feel like I've always been a decent restarter, and we got some good ones tonight.
All right, we're going to go to Bob here in the middle.
Bob Parker's Fox Sports. I'm curious, did you talk to Joseph Newgarden at all in the last day?
No, I texted him. I bet he's got 8,000 text messages, but I texted him after the race on Sunday and saying congratulations and all that stuff, and texted with Roger and Walt and Bud Danker and Tim Cindric, but no, I haven't had a chance to call. I don't even think he's texted me back. Joseph, he might have texted me back after I won too, but I haven't spoken to Joseph yet.
All right, we're going to go to Kelly and then Mike. It's Kelly and then a mic up front here in the blue to Mike Hembry.
Kelly, CrandallRacer.com. Ryan, you went into the grandstands, obviously taking a lesson out of Joseph's book. Would you have done that had you not seen him do it?
No, I only did it because Joseph did it, and I was pretty fired up. I don't get that excited very often, but I was super pumped, and you know, I loved how Joseph did it yesterday, and I was shocked. I wasn't shocked, but really pleased when I turned around and did the little victory lap thing of how many people were still in the stands. It was packed, and I couldn't believe it. And appreciate everyone sticking around, but I saw how excited they were, and you know what? I'm going to go in the stands like Joseph did and have some human contact after 5 hours of not having it. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, the excitement level of the fans makes us feel good as competitors. And it was really cool to do that. And I think some of it was because Joseph did it. Some of it was showing my appreciation. But, yeah.
Going up there and doing that was something that's unfamiliar to you. Can you just talk more about what that experience was like? Can you hear what they were saying? I don't know if you still had your helmet on or anything. So just what that whole experience was like when you haven't done that before.
Yeah, no, I haven't. No, I have my helmet off. I can only describe it as I have some experience in it. Actually, I go to metal shows every now and then, and that's like a mosh pit at a metal show. It's very similar to that. There was no one swinging haymakers, but it was very similar to that. That's probably the only thing I can compare it to was a metal show mosh pit up there with people cheering for you. So it was even better. So it was good. Oh, it was very good things. Yeah.
All right, Mike.
No matter how good your pit stops were, Byron had that first slot, and he kept squirting out in front. You had the best car, but you had to come back from fourth. You had numerous restarts. Was the car much better at the end of the race and earlier, or how did all that work?
I don't know if it was much better at the end of the race than what I was like at the midway break. Our short runs were really strong. And even like, 30 laps into the run, I'd kind of start getting free, and I'd have to kind of really manage my stuff. And, just got a couple good restarts and was able to get to the front row. That was the biggest thing, is getting to the front row. Because I raced William multiple times where, he was running fourth or fifth and got the lead on the pit stall, and I was, inside row and was able to clear him into three. And so my biggest thing to myself, I was like, I just got to get back to the front row. And I could then race William for it at least. And I think I have a better car than him. I can clear him if I can just be even with him. And then once we got the lead with that quick caution, I felt even better about it. Then I can control the restart, and I can pick the top lane and really, have him at a deficit. So I wouldn't say our car got a lot better, just, made good ground on some restarts.
All right, we're going to go to Jared here in the middle.
Jared Haas with frontstretch.com. Arguably, your best season is 2021 when you had 3 wins and the best average finish. And with this win, it almost mirrors that 2021 season. How does this season compare to the 2021 season that you had?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone's different. I remember some of the things about that season. You know, obviously the wins you remember, and then the unfortunate parts you remember. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd say before tonight, maybe I haven't felt as competitive as far as like speed wise. I feel like we've been behind. You know, Hendrick and Gibbs have been really good. I feel like we were a touch off of them up until this point. I thought tonight we did an amazing job of, you know, competing with them and beating them. So yeah, it's hard to compare to 21. I'd like to get a few more wins, and then maybe I can compare it and make it even better. But this is definitely a fun one.
All right, I believe I had a few additional questions here on the left. Okay, we'll get a microphone here, and then I believe I had one in the back. Okay.
Steve Schweitzer with the Lasco Press. The last 2 years, Ryan, you've had to answer a lot of tough questions. What happened this time? How did that one get away? You know, what went wrong out there? And now that you got all that behind you, what question do you want to be asked, or what do you want to say that you haven't been able to up to this point?
Hey, I'm just really excited that I'm really proud of the effort of our whole group tonight of doing everything right and not making any mistakes. You know, we didn't make any mistakes on pit road. We didn't make any mistakes, you know, on the racetrack. Just did a really good job and executed really well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm used to disappointment, especially after the last year and a half, and it's nice to, you know, be able to pull one off and have the speed that deserves to win and actually win. You know, a handful of times last year, I thought we had plenty of speed to win, and just something happened. And that definitely gets tiresome. But tonight, I'm really happy it was able to work out. So,
Congratulations. Enjoy this one.
thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, microphone in the back, please.
Evan Ludwig, Sports Radio WFNZ. Ryan, this is the first time you've won a race in the Cup Series when leading over 100 laps. I know you've been close countless times when you've dominated a race, but how good does it feel to finally win one of these races where you dominate the whole entire field?
Yeah, it feels like it's how it should be, right? I mean, it's nice to do that. So yeah, that's a fun fact. I didn't know that. No, it's just nice that things go the way you hope they go. You know, and everything's different, right? I mean, there's plenty of times where drivers have had the fastest car and it just doesn't work out for them. I think that's happened to us. That's happened to every driver in the field. And, you know, sometimes you don't have the fastest car and you win the race, you know, just by circumstances. So that happens to everybody. And but it's nice to, like, run up front all race, lead a bunch of laps, have one of the quickest cars out there, top 2 or 3 cars out there, and then pull it off. Like, that's always super cool. So, yeah, definitely feels good, and mainly proud of the 12 guys for putting together a great piece. It's an honor to get to drive something like that when it's that competitive.
All right, we're going to come back over to Jordan for a follow-up.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Veteran drivers, when they win races towards the end of their careers, kind of say, sometimes they celebrate like this might be their last one. And I was wondering if you ever thought about, like, did you celebrate in victory lane for the last time? Did you ever really think that, you know, you weren't going to win a Cup race again?
No, I don't think we talked about self-doubt earlier. I don't think it crossed my mind that, like, I don't think you'll ever win again. You know, you just start doubting yourself of, like, am I good enough to compete? Am I good as I was a year ago, right? Like, can I still do this? Am I progressing and getting smarter as a race car driver and still have the same skills I had 2 years ago? No, I don't think I ever thought of, like, I will never win a race again. It's just you kind of, you know, sometimes doubt your abilities when things don't go your way or you make mistakes. You're like, gosh, I'm getting really, you know, kind of messy with the way I'm doing things. So, no, I don't ever think that. I was very excited because I haven't won in a long time. So, and it was a 600. So I was pretty pumped up. That's, there was multiple reasons there, but no, I didn't ever think that we could never win again. So.
All right. Any final questions for Ryan? Okay, we'll take one final question in the back.
Cameron Richardson, NASCAR.com. Ryan, just explain the connection just NASCAR and maybe just motorsports as a whole has with its fans. I mean, you run into the crowd, you got everyone chanting your name. Just what does that mean to you and just for NASCAR as a whole? What does it say about NASCAR as a whole just to have that driver-fan connection like that?
Well, I mean, I think we do the best job of any sport out there of connecting with our fan base, with the athletes. You know, I mean, from what we do at the racetrack, on pit road, on the actual racetrack before the race, the access that the fans have to the drivers and cars, no other sport does that. You know, and no one's walking on an NFL field before the game. You know, so it makes it really unique about our sport, and you know, I think that's special. So, and I've been really fortunate in my career to have really great fans, a really cool fan base that have always supported me, and so that's been good. I don't get booed very often, so that's always nice to have. So people have been really good to me. But no, I just, you know, I've always wanted to give it back and show my appreciation for people sticking around and for fans to be here. I kind of saw that with my dad growing up, so I was fortunate to get kind of a early look at, you know, how you're supposed to treat fans who come to the races and, you know, thank them and support them for coming, because without them, this wouldn't be a thing. So, yeah, second to none. NASCAR does with their fans, and it's cool to have moments like that with them. I hope I get to meet the kid I gave the checkered flag to. I usually end up meeting them at some point, so that was cool. He was fired up, and yeah, that was a special moment. That was really cool to do. I'm gonna have to do that more often if I get fortunate to win. Hopefully not in 56 races or something like that. So.
All right, Ryan, congratulations again on that win. You now sit 1 point outside the points lead.
Oh, that's fantastic.
In the NASCAR
That's
Cup
lovely.
Series. So congratulations again. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.